My dear recruiters, so today this is about an analysis. It's a self-analysis that I'm going to teach you that how you can self-analyze to understand where things are going wrong and how you can able to work on the things that is not working in your life. For example, you are not getting placements, right? That is the primary problem that we have as a recruiter. So it is very much important to understand what is the reason that we are not having placements. So most of us think that not having placements is the problem, but I would say that is the symptom of a bigger problem. So let's understand, all right? So I'm taking here as a very general example, thinking that everything is going good, and let's see what is that we are going to find out, all right? So here, if you see, the primary problem what we go through is no placements. So here, if we understand why generally we don't have placements is because whether we are not working on active clients, or we are working on active clients but there are no placements, right? This is what generally happens with us, right? We work with non-active clients and we work with active clients. If you don't have placements through any of these, so let's understand what is your situation. If you're working with non-active clients, meaning, so is that you don't have the placement or your total team doesn't have the placement? Now you will get an answer for that. Okay, these are the questions you should be asking. Now, if you are the one not having placements but your team is having placements, then you should go to more here. Reasons why you are not having placements. All right. So if your team is not having placements, what you have to do? You have to do nothing. All right, because that is what it is. Everyone is doing their level best and no one is getting placement, meaning it is because of the client. So non-active client has the problem, not you as a recruiter. Now understand, you are not having placement with active clients. That's a bigger problem. Now, is that no placements for you or no placements for your team? So if no placements for you, then we have to go and find the reasons. And no placements for your team, then it's like a team effort is not working. You may need to check with the managers to see why the reason that your client is not looking at. Okay, maybe one person can be having a problem, 2% can be having a problem, but whole team, then this is a bigger issue. All right, maybe you need to change your process or you need to work on some more in-depth briefing with the hiring manager, and you need to understand that whether the client's nature is that, or what about other vendors, did they got placements or not? So many things are associated. Okay, so that's more of a business development and client relationship headache, but still that is going to fall on recruiter's head. Just be mindful of it. All right, so now let's understand. Okay, so you are not having placements but your team is having placements. Now this is your headache, it's your problem. So let's understand why you are not having more placements. Is that because you have more backouts, or you are not at all getting in offers? So here, if you are having more backouts, so when you have more backouts, so do you know the reasons why the candidate is backing out, or you are not aware of the reasons why candidate is backing out? So if you know the reasons, you are aware of the reason why someone is backing out, then you cannot do anything else, because you know that for this reason this person may back out, and if you have done everything to retain the candidate, you have done your job well. You cannot do that, okay, because we are working with a human being. So now you do not know the reasons why somebody is backing out. There is a problem. Now you as a recruiter, lacking the deep screening, including objection handling, candidate control, or you need to go in depth interview or understand why and what of the candidate. This is where you need to improve. All good? So you got the reason to avoid more backouts so that you can increase your placements. So now let's understand, you are not getting any offers considering you are working with good clients. Okay, but still you have no offers. Let's understand. So why we generally don't get any offers? Whether interview rejected, candidate rejects interview, or we do not get any interviews. Okay, so let's understand. So interview rejected is the candidate went for the interview and rejected by the hiring manager, and you asked for the reasons, and hiring manager gave you the reason. So now you are going to apply this to the next learning and end of story. Now hiring manager did not give you any reason. What you will do? You are going to inquire to the hiring manager. You're going to ask your manager to get it. Then you're going to apply the learnings, and what you will do? You are going to end the story. Okay. Now, no interviews. There you go. So I'm not talking about submissions. I'm not talking about anything, right? I'm just giving you a broader information. If there are no interviews, no interview from the client or candidate rejected the interview, you go to answer this. No interview from the client, meaning you have submitted to a good client, but there are no interviews for your submissions. So here you got to understand now, no interviews for your submissions, or this is for everyone, meaning your submission did not get interview, or others got interview and you did not get it, right? So here you got to understand, is there a shortlisting process? Now, no interview at all. So in these three cases, there will be no interview. So now let's understand, no interview for yourself, but others got interview. What would be the problem? You might be having struggling, you might be a problem with your timings, presentation, or understanding the need. So you are not understanding the need properly, and that's the reason you could not able to screen candidate properly or find candidate. Then you could not able to present the candidate properly, or that maybe timing problem, that you are starting late, or the way you spend timing on the non-productive work compared to productive work. So you got to check all these things. Got it? Now you got to ask, okay, you are not getting interview, but your other people are getting interview. Is it exception or regular? It happens all the time or once upon a time. So if it is exception, you can't do anything else. Okay, end of story. If it is regular, again you need to work on, wow, you got to work, understand your timing, and you need to see why and what is missing in your submission. That is the self-analysis you should be doing, or you should be connecting with me to help you out. All right, well, that is not going to be free. All right, so now here, if you do not understand why there is no interview, so you got to understand that, okay, if this client has any shortlisting criteria or a process that you should be working on. Oops, now there is no interview at all. Okay, that's it. The client has not given interview to any vendor, any submission, or any recruiter. Got it? So now candidate rejected the interview. It is a bigger problem. Meaning you submitted a candidate, client shortlisted it, and they said, okay, we want to talk to this candidate. And when you went there and said to the client that, hey, John, congratulations, we have an interview for you, the candidate says that I'm not interested because I got something else, or I don't want to enter in your interview. So that's the bigger problem, guys. You got to avoid that. So now what happens? Are you aware of the reason why the candidate is rejecting the offer? If you are aware, why you didn't tell to your hiring manager to cancel or take this resume from the consideration, you should have done that. If you have done it, well and good. If you are aware that yes, then it's all good, nothing you can do. If you are not aware of the reasons, that you are surprised, come on, I submitted resume a few days back and now you are not ready for interview. You are surprised. The moment you are surprised, you got to understand that you got to focus more on candidate control and on your follow-up process. All right. So now we have covered all the analysis part that can give you an information where exactly you are lacking and how you are going to work on it. All good? So now let me know if you found this analysis helpful, and what is that you wanted to change. All right. Till then, this is Suman Pachigulla on a mission to impact 5 million lives.